Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue was released in 2000. It tells the story of 5 young adults are assembled as a group and become the Lightspeed Rangers and have to stop an evil villain called Vapor and her demons. So, Lightspeed Rescue. I have a bit of nostalgia for this series. I watched it on VHS and I quite liked it as a kid. How is it on rewatch? It's pretty solid. Yes, I actually still think that this is a very good, very well made, and very well directed show. It's not perfect, it's not amazing, but I think it's a really great series. So, the storytelling, it is pretty decent. I like how it goes into a lot more mature directions, and the fact that the characters are young adults, I think, makes it a little more interesting. They're not just, the generic teenagers that you'd get for most of these series. And by generic, I just mean, the typical casting. Like, most of these things will have teenagers as characters, but here, they changed the pace. It's a young adult, and I think that's actually what makes it interesting. It makes it feel a little more fresh in my eyes. It does handle some dark themes. Well, I wouldn't say dark, but it does have a very mature backstory for a certain character. We'll get to that in a moment. And I think the storyline, it's just solid. Like, it's a very well crafted. Like, I think it all mashes well together. The finale was great. It was really satisfying. The final battle was awesome. The payoff for the main villain was a little weak, but it was a really good series. All 40 episodes were quite enjoyable. So the story was fun. It took itself seriously, which I liked, and it was a good start to the 2000s decade of the franchise. So for me, I enjoyed it a lot. The effects in CGI are once again dated, but then again, it's 2000, so I'll just move on. The cinematography was awesome. The action sequences were incredible. Like, holy crap, I loved the fight scenes in this series. The fight scenes were fantastic. Now we move on to the characters, and this is quite an interesting topic for this season. I'll start off with the main character, Carter Grayson. I really liked Carter in this series. I thought he was a very good, very likable leader of the team, and I just really liked his character. I thought he was well acted, well written, and he was very well thought out actually. I like the idea as he's a firefighter that becomes, the Red Ranger in this, and I thought that was well written, well executed. It was just he's an interesting character. Like, he's quite likable, and he was serious at times, so I liked that. I liked how he was written. Chad was good, Kelsey was good, Dana was good. Joel was very good. He's very funny, especially when he's trying to flirt with Dr. Fellweather. It's just quite funny, I think, in my eyes. It's just very funny. It brought a lot of laughs out of me. And Dr. Fellweather was a good character as well. I don't think she was really necessary to the plot, but, there was good humour brought. Captain Mitchell was a very interesting character. This guy was really good. He was a lot better than I was expecting. I kind of expected him to be a little unlikable, and I guess at times he is kind of unlikable, but I think they have good reasons for why he acts like who he is, but I thought he was very well written. And yeah, the team of Rangers is very good. The interesting character, though, would have to be Ryan, the Titanium Ranger. This was interesting, to say the least. I thought this backstory was very powerful. It was very well written and very impactful. But here comes a few of my problems with this series. His character arc is way too rushed. Yeah, I think this character arc is way too rushed. In my eyes, they should have done it like this. 3 episodes, he comes in, he becomes the Titanium Ranger, kicks the ass out of the main 5 Rangers, and then we have 2 episodes focusing on that, him, being evil and all, and then he meets up with Captain Mitchell, his dad, and then everything gets resolved. I just think it was too rushed, and I felt the Cobra arc, it was unnecessary. I just didn't see the need of it. I think they should have extended him being evil, because I think it would have been a lot better in my eyes. So that's how I would have written it. But he was good. I do feel he's a little absent, though, in the second half, but, you can't really change that, but I think he should have been involved a little more. He was good, he was very good. I just think some things about his character arc could have been better, in my opinion. The villains are, they're quite forgettable. I mean, one of the villains literally sounds like Marge Simpson. I liked Diabolico for being involved with Ryan's backstory, but that was it, really. The villain Vapor was, she wasn't very good in my eyes. She was just a very I don't know, she was just kind of a weak villain. She just wasn't really interesting, and her payoff just wasn't satisfying, really. It just felt very anticlimactic. The soundtrack is great, the theme song is really catchy, and the soundtrack is, once again, it's fantastic. So yes, I enjoyed this series quite a lot. It was very good and very well written. So overall, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is a very solid series, really good storytelling, good cinematography, great action, pretty solid characters, and some amazing soundtrack. And with all that said, I'm going to give Lightspeed Rescue an 8 out of 10. So that is it for the Power Ranger reviews for now. I will get to the original Mighty Morphin eventually, possibly in February, but we'll wait and see. Until then, guys, stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be on Bionicle 3. And until then, guys, skadoosh everyone, and take care.